Definitely a video I'm going to be skipping around just a bit. But 2 massive yellow jacket nests in the same ceiling.
That's disgusting, don't do it.
An insect removal video.
Don't.
I didn't know anybody really still cared from that portion of our channel anymore. But if you guys want to see it, I'll watch it because I love it. So let's do it.
I'm the Hornet King, and I removed some incredible and insane wasp nests.
Yeah, that's nice. I've done a couple of these when I was in pest control. This is the only part I miss, actually. They're like terrifying to do, but they're so much fun. Oof, and wasps, unlike bees, are not friendly, right? They will try to bite you. They will be aggressive, you know? Look at those ones. Those are the little wood ones. Those are cool. My grandfather used to have a bunch of those. Look at the little grubbies. Oh, Skitten would hate this. The Hornet King.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Hornet King channel and welcome back to another episode of How Many Yellow Jackets Can I Vacuum Out of Somebody's Home? So this particular client wasn't blessed with 1 yellow jacket colony, but 2 yellow jacket colonies separated by about 15 feet of space within the same ceiling space. When a client contacts me and says, hey, I got yellow jackets flying around inside my house and I'm seeing activity in 2 different points of my home, where is this nest at? I usually tell them, you don't have 1 colony, more than likely you have 2 different colonies. so upon arriving to this client's home, that's exactly what I found. Not only were they 2 different colonies, they were 2 completely different species. So the one species was Vespula vulgaris, aka the common yellow jacket.
Yeah, it's a yellow jacket.
And the other species was this colony here, which was Vespula squamosa, aka the southern yellow jacket. So not only was this a southern yellow jacket colony built inside this cavity space, there was actually another older nest that it was probably from the previous year.
Yeesh.
And they built right on top of it and kind of to the side of it. So there was a massive amount of nesting material within inside this ceiling space.
You can be kind of aggressive with these too because they're considered a pest. So you can kind of deal with them however. That's why you don't see people pull out vacuums when they deal with like bees and stuff like that.
All through their hardwood floor. So anytime you have like a hard material like wood, you can actually hear a little bit better than when you hear like through like plasterboard. Drywall I can hear pretty well because of the acoustics of the drywall, but for whatever reason this colony I couldn't hear it very well from underneath like in the drywall area.
Look at him trying to get his ass.
So I started cutting it out and I had gone and guesstimated where the hole should go and I nailed it and went right up into the nesting material. So cutting out this area, I start with a smaller hole and I get bigger as I locate the nest and I can assess how big the nest is going to be and how much I can pull out in a smaller hole. If I need to go bigger, I go bigger because patching drywall, it doesn't matter if you're patching a 4-inch hole or if you're patching a 20-inch hole. The process is virtually the same.
Yeah.
So I could tell that this nest was going to be huge trying to come out of this hole. So I just kind of put my hands up in here, and that's like the creepiest part of my job, is sticking my hands into the unknown. I have no idea what I'm touching. I have no idea how much of the colony is in there, and it's going to encase my hand, potentially sting me. So that's the creepiest part. So I just start pulling down some
This is so cool.
and trying to expose as much of the nest as I can. You can notice that there's actually not a heck of a lot of activity flying out as I'm moving those spots around. That's how I knew that most of the colony was probably up in the layers of comb.
I like how he's trying to be really careful to like not ruin the part of their home, you know? But if this is my house, you could take the whole roof off. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Take it all out. Trying to be all cute with this hole, bro. Pull it out. I don't give a shit.
What I do when I'm removing a nest inside of somebody's home, do I tape off the area or use plastic or what have you? And no, I don't actually do that. What I do is I leave curtains open and I allow light coming in from outside. And that way when the yellow jackets leave the cavity space, they fly right to the window or to my lights. And then I just vacuum them up from there. This particular house was a little bit different because since it was kind of like open concept, there were a lot of like big archways, doorways going from one room to the other. There was a lot of light coming from other areas too. So they were flying pretty much between the 3 different rooms around this cavity space. So I did have to spend about 35 minutes to 45 minutes vacuuming up wasps at the very end, which you'll see. I show a little bit of that.
You know, I would like to help you out a little bit. You need to invest in a GoPro with the little headband. It's probably about $225 on sale. $450 if you're trying to get mad expensive. But that deal you got going there, holding the phone and the thing at the same time, the GoPros actually come with a light on top of the headband too, so you can get a headband, light, and a recorder and have both hands free to work. That would be so helpful.
So I actually started pulling it out.
This is stressing me out.
Bin,
and then when you want to get those internal shots, you can still have your camera too on the side, because you're already splicing video. It's the same thing you talk about patching drywall. It doesn't matter if you have 2 different clips or 4 different clips. It's the same. You could just delete the audio too.
This is a good example too. Since this is the end of the season, people often ask in clients or comments will often ask, where do the queens go when they leave the nest? Well, most of the time they just kind of like, it's almost like a bomb goes off. They just kind of leave in a 360-degree radius around the nest. They don't go back out the original entranceway that the workers have been using all season. They'll just climb into any cavity that they can to hunker down and wait for the following season to reemerge. So this is a prime example that you can see of that. You can see queens climbing all around the rafters and things. I'm trying to vacuum them up so that way the client doesn't have a problem the following year.
Wow.
Look at all this envelope I'm pulling out. I mean, that is a ton of envelope.
What a great job. All right, let's move into the next one.
So vacuuming this out, and oops, change of position. Wasn't that convenient to actually knock the camera off the top of the ladder, and it landed like facing straight up, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I left that in there. I don't know what it is about these kind of lights. Any kind of like dome based lights or ceiling fans, they love to just kind of cake around those spots. So this is nest number 2. This is Vesvilla vulgaris. Now they're one of the more aggressive species that I deal with as far as cavity nest building species are concerned. And you kind of can tell when I start pulling these out, there are just a ton of yellow jacket adults inside of this nest.
Jesus.
They were just, I mean, they were engulfing my hands. They were flying all over me.
Sting. They hurt too.
Onto me. Southern yellow jackets are known to be my latchers. They're the ones who latch on me the most. But vulgaris is another one that will latch on and kind of like stay attached to me when I'm removing them. They're also one of the other few colonies I have around here in PA that will build crazy amounts of envelope. German yellow jackets kind of have the cake on that. They put a lot of envelope on their nest.
This is so massive.
Vulgaris is a pretty close second.
Yeah, get in there. Look at all those grubs.
Look at the colony in this thing. I mean, this. I wish I could have gotten a little bit better shots with my camera, but holding a flashlight and a camera at the same time and trying to get the shots while also looking at the nest and seeing what you're doing is really, really difficult. So I apologize for the shaky camera work here, but I still wanted to show you guys this colony and show you this removal because this was a heck of a lot of
my God.
Inside of here.
Bro, and they were just living in this, man. They probably had the ray just next to the bed frame. This is that. I mean, this would be insanity.
And you can even see like the girth of the nest. Like, look at all that of activity in there. I mean, that is just a lot of adults flying around.
That's crazy.
So our buddies, the German yellow jackets, they kind of just float around. They don't really care about me being around there. Man, this particular species, man, you even just open up the cavity space and they're just lunging at you and latching on and trying to get you, trying to get a piece of me any way that they can.
Let's see, open this up a little bit more.
And I put a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in there, or any kind of dish soap, doesn't matter. It could be Ajax, could be dollar store, doesn't matter. But I put a couple drops of dish soap in there, and that kills the yellow jackets. If they don't die from the inertia of being sucked up and hitting the baffle in the vacuum, then they die pretty quick.
From
getting
soap.
The soapy water on.
If you guys don't know that, yeah, soapy water works really well. Also sticks the wings so they don't fly around.
Compost pile and just let it biodegrade.
Wow, this is cool. I'm enjoying this a lot. Let's see what else. I want to see him vacuum these up.
So
now.
I just go around, like I said, spend about 45 minutes just vacuuming up all of the excess adults
all these
flying
in the
around.
house. Oh
and
my
taking
God.
here to this light fixture. Look at this light fixture. This is a nightmare to have to vacuum up wasps also. Since I left the light on, they were attracted to that light. So I just went around the rooms and started turning off all the lights. because I don't need to see at this point to be able to see the wasps flying around. I can turn off the lights and let them go to the windows then, and then I can just vacuum them right off the windows.
Trying to get them from the air must just be hectic.
There we go, turning off the lights, and now you'll start to see that they'll kind of decluster from that area, and then they'll start flying to the windows. So I went around the client's kitchen. Now I had to do 3 different rooms here and just continue vacuuming up because they were just flying everywhere. So luckily when I was done, there weren't any left. The customer didn't have to worry about there being yellow jackets in their house. I was very, very thorough, and I make sure that I get every last one of them. And never got any complaints from them saying that they found more. So once I get these nests home, I have about probably 5 or 6 bins of yellow jackets.
Wow.
I do a lot of removals in one day. So I bring these nests home, and at the very end of the day, I open up the boxes and I start pulling them out. So here's a queen right here.
Yeah, look at her.
That was just kind of sitting on top of this nest. I flick her out, let her go. I'm not too worried about the queens. If they want to start a new nest next year, I'm totally fine with that. I hope they do around my property. There's another queen. And so that way I can film them and observe them. A lot of what I do is scientific. I relocate some colonies here to my house, and I'll study them and study how they build, study what materials they use, study what types of insects that they prey on.
Another one?
It's interesting, too, because my neighbor actually has honeybees, and they're about 2 houses down, and I have yet to have one of my colonies come back with honeybee carcasses. So oftentimes people in the comments will say it's pretty ridiculous that you relocate colonies when you're threatening the honeybee populations.
That's what I
Well, interestingly enough, I have not had any honeybee carcasses in any of my nests. So people will often ask, how do I even know that? Well, when wasps will hunt and prey other insects, they will catch them, they will bring them back to the nest, and they will chew them up. And their exoskeleton usually falls off, their legs fall off, their heads fall off, and they crunch up the meat from inside of the bodies of the insect. And then they feed that to their larvae. The wasps themselves do not eat that meat. They feed that meat to their larvae, and then their larvae will process that material and then regurgitate a digestive fluid, and that's what the adults will eat. So at the bottom of their nests will be all the carcasses of all the bugs that they ate, and not once have I found a honeybee carcass.
But they do eat honeybees. It's not, they are pests. They will eat a honeybee, though. They will hunt them for sure, but it's really cool that he hasn't had any issues with it. That's super dope. That's super cool. Super great vid. This is an amazing channel, the Hornet King. That's just spectacular. So yeah, learn some stuff about some hornets, man. Maybe they're a little bit more misunderstood than we thought. But yeah, that's it for me there. I hope I didn't gross anybody out too bad, but I enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh God. Peace.